Hey, this is John Martinez with Midwest Revenue Group and the REI Sales Academy. What I'm going to show you over the next 5 or 10 minutes is exactly what we teach actually during our boot camps and during our 12-week online academy that we do. And what this is this is the blueprint to a perfect sales call. So I'm going to give this to you to add a little bit of structure to your real estate investment acquisitions sales calls. And this is good whether it's over the phone or face-to-face. Either way it works. But let me show you what we have found to be the best blueprint for an effective call if you want to close really every closable deal. And also if you want to walk out of a deal and just absolutely know that if it didn't get done, exactly why it didn't get done, right? How many times have you walked out of a deal and you've been like, man, is there something else I could have done? Is there something else I could have said? Could I have handled that any differently to have any type of different outcome? And when you use this process, you know 100%, absolutely, no doubt about it, you're going to get the deal if the deal is closable, and you're going to get the best price, the best margins really on that deal. And if you walk away without a deal, you're going to know you did absolutely everything you needed to do. And this is not on you. This was not a closable deal. The other cool thing about using this process is if you end up not doing a deal, this is also going to set you up to be in the best possible situation, number one position, if something changes with this prospect. If their situation changes, if they decide they are going to sell for under retail, this puts you in the starting spot. This puts you at top of mind. This puts you in the position where if they're going to do anything, they're going to call you first and foremost. So this is the blueprint. Again, if it's closable, this will help you close a deal at the highest possible margins. If it's not closable, you're going to know 100% absolutely that you did everything you could. You can feel confident walking out of that property. And it's going to also set you up for future sales in case something changes with this prospect. So let's just jump into it. So as we teach in our sales training, let me kind of zoom in and out to fit the size here. We're going to start up here with set the stage. So when we set the stage, what I mean by that is we need to set expectations for the sales call. As we set expectations for the sales call, really, hey, this is what we're going to do together. This is how long it's going to take. And at the end of this thing, we're going to decide to move forward in some way or not. And by the way, if we decide not to move forward, totally cool. Don't buy every house I walk into. Setting the stage like that, covering time frame, agenda, and outcome. Yes is good, no is okay too. Doing that's going to relieve any pressure that the prospect is feeling up front, right? Any of that, oh, okay, I don't want to get sold, my guard's up, I'm hesitant, I'm resistant. We're going to get rid of that right out the gate with this 30-second kind of spiel to set up the stage, right? Set the stage for open, honest communication. Next 15 minutes of the call, we're going to tour. We're going to do a virtual tour if it's over the phone. What we're going to do is walk the property with the prospect or ask them questions about the property that are just, we're going to lob them questions, just real softball types of questions. And, you know, just things that the prospect can answer without feeling any pressure at all. You know, hey, when was this done? Tell me about the layout, the structure of the property. Tell me about the neighborhood. Just things to get your prospect talking. The more your prospect talks and shares with you, the more rapport is going to be built. You know, a lot of people use commonalities to build rapport, but here's the thing. The more the prospect talks, especially about themselves, the more of a chemical that's actually released in the pleasure and reward center of the brain, which makes you feel good. When someone talks about themselves, the same chemical is released in the brain that's released with if you do cocaine, if you have during sexual activity, or eat chocolate. It's a really feel-good type of chemical that's released. So it's the same thing that's released when people talk about themselves. So we want to take this next 15 minutes just getting them to talk and really letting their guard down more through that conversation. Then we're going to transition into the actual sales call. So a good transition question is, hey, is there somewhere we can sit down and talk? Or, hey, I got a few questions. Is it okay if we kind of chat about, you know, what you need out of this thing and what I can give? Something like that. That transitions us into the sales call. Now, there's going to be two main parts of the actual sales call. Now, we've got rapport built up now. We're ready to roll. We're going to ask a little bit tougher questions. We're done throwing the softballs. We're going to get into emotion, right? We're going to get their brain just, if you look at neuroscience, if you look at behavioral economics, if you look at behavioral psychology, and the rest of those social psychologies, we now know, we now know for sure that emotion is what drives sales. So in order to create an urgency to take action, we're going to get that emotion bubbled up to the top of the surface. We use in our training problem, impact, and picture perfect questions, okay? Now, if you want to learn more about those, you can join one of our training programs, or a really great book to read is Spin Selling by Neil Rackham. They've got 4 types of questions, but they're basically the same types of questions. And in that book, they'll walk through how to ask these questions and what order to do it, and then all the science behind it, all the research behind it that kind of prove why this is so effective. So after we get through our problem, impact, and picture perfect questions, we're going to be right here in the middle. Is there sufficient motivation to move forward? Are they motivated to take action? If the answer is no, one of 2 things. We need to go back and we need to find more problems, impact, and picture perfect questions. We need to get them really motivated to take action. And if we've driven this thing to death into the ground, if we've beat this dead horse and there's just not enough motivation for them to take action, to sell at less than retail or to sell at all, this is a dead deal. Now, if you go through this again, or you go through this one time and there is sufficient motivation, hey, yes, if the price is right and this and that, then we're definitely open to selling in the next 30 or 60 days, whatever you want to hear, right? Whatever your qualifications are. Then we have that. Then we're going to move into deal killers. So after we get motivation established, then we got to figure out, hey, what's going to get in the way of this deal from moving forward? Motivation's not enough, right? Motivation means I want to take action. I'm feeling an urgency to take action. But even when we want to do stuff, sometimes things get in the way. So we're going to address deal killers. The biggest deal killers we see out there that we want to address are timeline. We want to address, how quick or fast they want to sell. We want to address every other option this person has to sell their house. We're going to actually push them towards those options. We're going to use something called psychological reactance to get them to disqualify all those options. And then we're going to also go into everything that's going to create any type of risk or discomfort. Those are deal killers, right? Leaving money on the table, dealing with tenants, all that kind of stuff, right? Relationships, all that kind of stuff that can create some type of discomfort. Now, after we address all of those deal killers, we're either going to eliminate them or just know that we can eliminate them when we get to our presentation. Now, if we're stuck on deal killers, if we get through this step and we go, hey, there's something sticking, they are not going to move forward, we don't want to go into the presentation yet. It's not time. We're going to have to get them over these deal killers. In order to do that, we need to go back into our problem, impact, and picture perfect questions, and we got to get them so motivated that they say, you know what, even though these things are uncomfortable, even though I know I have other options, I've got to take care of this now, right? So we're going to go back into that step. Again, if we don't get enough motivation to overcome these deal killers, dead deal. If we do, then we are moving into the presentation. We're going to go into our transition question. The transition question is basically going to ask, hey, I'm going to roll this all out to you. I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm going to structure the deal. If it's, if you love everything, good on the price, good on everything, if you're 100% sure, hey, this is good, can you give me a yes or no today? And by the way, I'm not asking for you to give me a yes. I don't care either if it's a yes or a no, so no pressure there. Totally cool either way. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So this is just where we button it up. We make sure we did not miss any impact, any motivations, or any deal killers. If the answer is no, I can't make a decision. You're thinking, what did I frickin' miss? Is it not enough motivation to move forward? Or is it there's a hidden deal killer? See how this all comes full circle. If the answer is yes, I can give you some type of decision within this predetermined time frame. Bang. We go to a presentation. What does a presentation cover? Well, it covers everything we uncovered in the first half of the sales process. We're going to show them exactly how we're going to help them get to their motivation, exactly how the structure of our deal is going to be better than anyone else's, how we are uniquely capable to address also not only their motivations, but every deal killer. This sets us apart, builds more rapport. Then we're going to move into negotiation. We're going to use things like odd final offers, non-monetary concessions. We're going to use minimizing concessions. We're gonna use all kinds of cool stuff to negotiate, and also relieve some of those final deal killers through the way we negotiate, through the structure of it. If the answer is yes, we got a deal, then we're going to stress test it, make sure nothing gets in the way. We don't lose it to a competitor who tries to undercut us and overbid and that type of stuff. If it's, hey, no decision, hey, totally cool. Like I said, yes is good, no's okay too. Now that it's over, let's go and figure out what we missed. Again, was it motivation? Was it a deal killer? And we just go through this loop until we exhaust everything. And at the end, we've either got a dead deal, and then we throw it in our follow-up system, but they feel like we've really taken care of them, or we've got a deal that we've just stress tested and made sure nothing's going to find. So guys, that's it. That is our sales process. That's what we teach. If you take this blueprint and you adopt it and you adapt it to your business model, I guarantee you will close every closable deal. You will do that at the deepest margins. You'll also swing back and get all the follow-up deals that you missed first time around. And if it is a no, you're going to be 100% sure that you did everything you could to get this deal. Nobody else is getting this deal if you didn't get it. This is John Martinez. This is the exact stuff we teach in our 12-week online academy and at our boot camps. So this is it. No holds barred. Nothing kept from you here. This is the exact process we teach. I hope you can find this useful and use it in your business. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.